I'm Dr. Elisabeth Crim. I'm a licensed psychologist and a certified Relax and Renew yoga trainer. I'm also the founder and director of Moonstone Center. You can learn more about Moonstone Center and me at moonstonecenter.com and drelizabethcrim.com. I want to welcome you to this edition of The Healer's Life newsletter I put out each month to attend to you, the healthcare professional, the minister, the educator, the spiritual director, any of you who attend to the growth and the nurture and the healing of others. I also want to welcome you to the fall. We are in a time of seasonal change, and I find that the seasons really cue me to wake up, to pay attention, to look around and to feel the energy, to see what's new that's happening around us. The fall is very different than summer. It's different not only in the climate and the air and the weather and the temperatures, but it's also different in how people's energy in their personal lives is operating. Summer has a very different pace than the fall, especially if you have children. But even if you don't, in our work environments, we tend to kind of have an ebb and a flow, and it certainly takes off when we hit the fall. Projects that have been kind of just in the waiting, in the queue, begin to really have life and focus. And that's certainly happening at Moonstone Center. I really hope you'll check out the newsletter this month. There's a lot of information in there with links to things that are relevant to you, and I think that you will find very interesting, at least might want to know about or pass on to your colleagues. And so please do check out the newsletter. I also want to talk about just transitions in general. Each season cues us to transition, but this summer was full of them, and for me and in our family. Our youngest child graduated from high school, and she has since gone off to college, and we also moved from one home to another. And I can tell you that I am still in a period of fatigue and disorientation, and really trying to sift and sort and become present to where I am living now, and who's here now and who's not here. And how we reconnect in these relationships with the children who used to be around regularly and who are not around regularly, who were still dependent on us, and we were still had a position of authority, and yet that authority position has changed because they're adults now. And there's just a lot of things like that that may sound like, oh yeah, that's a big deal, but really it is a big deal. And we are affected on so many levels by these transitions and changes. And I just found myself, even as we were going to Goodwill, I can't tell you how many times we went to Goodwill moving the house, and cleansing and purging the stuff that is old and kept, we store up and don't pay attention that I don't need that anymore. We found things that we didn't make it to Goodwill that just got thrown straight in the garbage. And I know those of you who have moved after you've lived in a place a long time can relate, but there was just this sense of cleansing and purging, which has really awakened in me, even in my new environment of a new home, and even in the new pace of how do we talk to our daughter now that she's at college, and how do we do these things now. And even with Moonstone's growth, from trying to really build and get established, continuing my career as a psychotherapist and a consultant, but expanding that, continuing my role as a speaker and an author, but expanding that to an identity within myself that these are the things that I do, and these are the things that Moonstone Center produces and creates space for and brings together through treatment teaming. And these are all these pieces have their new place and their new life and their new energy, and it's subtle sometimes and sometimes a more overt in a different way. And how do we attend to that? And it can be a little disorienting, but it can also be exciting. There's fresh stuff that we want to pay attention to and create room for. And the room that has been created by things being lost and left and let go of. There's both. There's a letting go and there's new. And how do we integrate that? How we bring that in? What do you want to keep from your past practice into your current practice? What do you want to let go from your past practice that really doesn't have purpose or relevance now? What new things are emerging that you want to give space to? These are all the things that we can attend to when we're beginning to move into these transitions if we're paying attention. And I speak about it because we're at a time of transition with the season of fall, because it's been a very rich time of transitions for me personally and professionally, but also because I think on a daily, weekly basis we're going through transitions, and it is critical to our own health if we can begin to really pay attention on a subtle, daily, minute by minute even, attention and attunement to ourselves. So I invite you, pay attention to what you want to keep, pay attention to what you want to let go of, pay attention to what's present, and give yourself some space for the transitions you may find yourself in. And I'll leave you with this. One of the things that happened for me through this time is my yoga dropped down. The nutrition that I know I need to have on a regular basis got very shaky and not available. My morning devotional and prayer time became very erratic. And so I'm consciously going, those are things I know I need. I'm bringing them back in, trying to get them into a routine again. But there's some other things that don't fit anymore, and it's okay for those to be let go of. And there's some things that have changed. They're still present, but they're different, and learning how to engage with those. So I encourage you to do that, to give space to that, time to that. I hope you have a great week. We look forward to seeing you the rest of the month out there and into the fall. There's a lot of good stuff coming up. Like I said, go check out the newsletter where I'm speaking and some other events that are coming up and conferences that you may be interested in yourself. And we'll look forward to talking with you next month. Take care.